The tube light दियो the top light which है ना top ना कसु नहीं करो.
Welcome everyone. My name is Manish Shah and I'm Professor of Management at the Lake Forest Graduate School in Chicago. Let me introduce today's speaker. Swami Deepakanand has a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. He has several years experience working in the cement and petrochemical industry. He had inclination to be a celibate. He received self-realization through the grace of self-realized holistic scientist Sri A.M. Patel in 1983. Since then, he has pursued his dream to work selflessly to spread the message of holistic science for upliftment of the entire humankind. His entire life to studying holistic science and visiting rural areas and cities in India, USA, UK, Canada, Europe, Africa, Australia, and New Zealand to spread the scientific understanding of life through holistic science. Deepakanand.
Thank you so much.
Last time we talked about outer and inner happiness. Today we are going to cover positive vision or positive Drishti. Start out with a very basic question. What is positive vision and how is it helpful in day-to-day life?
We will try to see first. We all know positivity, positive and all that. Looking at the English language itself. But here we can say that here positive, we mean anything which is desirable, which is progressive, which is helpful, which is encouraging, leading to happiness, that reveals my mistakes, which is constructive, which is optimistic. And vision truly relates to that which is seen, which is experienced, which you can perceive, a kind of intelligent foresight. Basically, it relates to understanding. So, positive vision means right understanding, positive understanding, looking at any situation so that however the situation, circumstances could be negative, but through that right understanding, positive understanding, you are seeing the situation positive, you are seeing the individual positive. So our judgment, which normally ends up in a lot of negativities, which is disastrous for our own progress and living. So basically this is what it means, positive vision. So we are so much affected and actually we are so much conditioned, and due to that conditioning, unfortunately, which is the effect of our social upbringing, even education to some extent. So all these factors have made our vision so much of negative that even in apparent conditions of positive situation, we are not able to understand or see things positive and make best of it. So the idea is how we can be progressive in every situation of our life with the help of positive vision. And I understand that it is the holistic science, inner science, which has come out through the holistic scientist. It has become very effective in every situation of our life. And it keeps us happy, cheerful, progressive, and on the mark.
So that is a very good introduction, Swamiji. Can you give us an example of, let's say, a negative circumstance? I can give you an example. Let's say I lost my job. So, perceived as a very negative circumstance, especially in the Western world, right? So, in that circumstance, or I have an illness, what should be my frame of mind, and what kind of understanding should I have, positive vision should I have to encounter or to address this effectively?
See, number one, since we are natural and there is solution to every problem, what remains to be understood in such tricky situation is we have to try to see what best we can do in that situation. So you say that you lost job. Okay, so it's like you had been working for a few years. So of course, I will say that you will not be having any immediate financial problem. But yes, immediate problem is that the way you used to remain busy for about, let's say, some 8 or 10 hours a day, now you don't know what to do during that time. And it's like everybody at home don't expect you to be at home, and you are found at home. So it's like, oh, someone is watching me. So that is the situation. So first of all, we had to see that when you lose job, with that commitment of the job and all that, you really have no time for yourself. So now it is like a natural happening. So, and I consider every happening is a natural happening. That's what holistic science has revealed very clearly. Every happening is natural happening. The reason it is not happening by anybody doership, but it is happening naturally. We are not able to conceive that, we are not able to understand that, but if you really understand, then there is a factor of naturality in that also. So in that situation, you get a lot of time for self introspection. So we should make best use of that. At the same time, I'm sure that you can definitely have some kind of a job and keep yourself busy, maybe 4 to 6 hours a day, or even 4 5 hours a day. But then our ego doesn't accept that okay, I'm not going to do that kind of a job. See, understanding is what is important is keep our mind busy. At that time, the money factor is not important. So if we can handle our mind, keep it busy, that's what is needed. So we can make the best use of that time. And of course, we are all academically very good, a lot of experience. So definitely you're going to get job somewhere or the other. So it's a matter of time. And now about illness, now let's say, again, there is solution to every problem. And any kind of illness is like passing through a phase of suffering. And all this suffering aspect of our life teaches us or wants to teach us that we have gone wrong somewhere. So now we should investigate where really we had gone wrong, due to which we have ended up in a disease. Okay, so with that, we are getting a chance for self improvement. Okay, like I can give an example what had happened to the holistic scientist. He had a fracture, and he had met with an accident also. So people who came to see him inquired, oh, you got hurt, and all that stuff. So it's like we are so much used to talking like that. The social interaction and dealing and talking is such, they make you feel that you're really not well and you had a very serious accident and all that. You know what was his reply? He said that I had met with an accident, but since then I'm recovering. So see the positivity in that. So that's what. It always matters how you look at things. And that is the truth. It is a fact that after that accident, if that happened maybe a week back, a week has gone and now I'm recovering. So that's what it is.
So thanks for shedding light on positive vision with a couple of really concrete examples of job and illness. So since this seems like an extremely powerful tool to be using in our daily life, how can somebody cultivate positive vision in their...
See, there is one thing, like if you want to keep yourself healthy, you should visit the gym maybe 3 times a week or maybe every day, or have a timetable. So like then you will always uh, have regularity in that aspect. So here also you have to keep in touch with people who are having this vision, and this will keep us up to date all the time. And that's the best way to handle situations of life. So they are like doctors, so we should not have a feeling that, oh, we cannot disturb them. No, you have right to disturb them. It is, they say that our time is their time. So there's no problem. You can disturb them anytime.
So are there any visions or positive aphorisms that we can keep in front of us every day? Let's say if we want to cultivate positive vision, these are the 2 or 3 things we should focus on every morning or before we go to
Right.
sleep, so it kind of reinforces itself every day.
One thing, a wonderful revelation that I am whole and sole responsible for myself. So in any situation of my life, as I normally end up blaming others for my failure, when I know that I am responsible for my life, so I will focus on me. We know that nobody can change the circumstances of the world. They are natural happening. So what remains on our side is try to understand what is the truth behind that happening. So when our mind get contented, get satisfaction, so we will always have peace at the level of our mind. And it is our mind that get disturbed first whenever we come across a situation. And when our mind gets the right understanding, then there's no problem. So this is first and foremost. Then if you see, all problems are at the thinking level only. We should see that with that right understanding, you will always have the answer. So let's say with the positive vision, we can always strengthen our mind. We always try to take comfort from things like that. But then with the right understanding, we will be able to fight the situation. And we have to fight our inner weaknesses only. So with that, we have the 9 diamonds. So like in any situation, we come across negativity from outside or from inside. But through my inner resolution, I can always correct myself understand myself, and keep myself up to date. Like we are always afraid of failure. Now imagine failure teaches us a lot. Success makes us arrogant. Doesn't that happen? I'm the best. And I forget, actually. But if you really see, whenever we fail, we always try to find out where really I went wrong. And that's how I come out with a lot of mistakes. And those mistakes, once corrected, I get the solution for my lifetime. So that's what.
So
Okay.
Swamiji, you alluded to 9 diamonds in your. Can you briefly explain to the audience what those are?
Okay. See, most of the time we have to understand the inner working of our human machinery. With the right intellect, we can make decision from inside. And why things have gone negative outside? Because those negativities were there inside. So with those 9 diamond resolution, let's say my mind is full of opinions. Okay, so that's how I deal. Now if you see that, if you see the first diamond, it relates to not to hurt anyone's ego. So see, if we have to tell someone, we should see that we don't hurt the person's ego. And in all our communication, somewhere or the other, our speech is like that, the words are like that, the tone is like that we end up hurting the other person's ego. However, we may be right, but the tone, when it hurts anybody's ego, it's not going to work. Everybody believes in one or the other religion. So we should see that we don't hurt anybody's religious belief. Same way, everyone, uh, you know, we cannot have any dislike or hatred towards anyone. Because if we have gone one step ahead, we have no right to dislike or hate others who are little behind us. They are also going to have their chance in their life and they are also going to progress. So it's like when we look at others, then we know that we were also like that once upon a time. So having any kind of dislike or hatred is not the right thing because I'm going to hurt myself only. So rather I will uh, pray for them that they also come out of those weaknesses and come out of it. Same way, if you go further, our speech, very important, very important. All these negativities, they're there in our mind. And when they get expressed, they get endorsed like. So we have to be very careful in using our speech. So the next diamond says that our speech should be such. So all that resolution that works from inside, it helps us correct outside. Then it's like it is a normal trend, everybody is married. So if they are sincere to their spouse, family life is wonderful. Eating habits. We have to eat balanced diet. But looking at our lifestyle in situations of life, we are not able to eat proper food. And all diseases related, it is because of the food. So when food is taken care, it is said that when your food is also your medicine, you'll be considered as the most luckiest person because you'll be healthy all your life. Further, our relations, present they are present or they are not there, or they are living or dead. We have no right to talk negative because see, the vibes what we talk about, negative vibrations, they go around in the nature and they come back like boomerang for a settlement from where it has originated. And that's how I get into trouble. So I should see that none of those negative vibrations go out from my body. And finally, I live my life, such an exemplary life, that others get their lessons without my telling. So that's how I will take care of my well being and others' well being also. Okay, so that's one.
Yep, Swamiji, yeah, this was a understanding of the 9 diamonds. And I think for those of us in the audience who are interested about 9 diamonds, I believe they're posted on our website, which is hscrf.org. So with that, we want to move to the first question from our audience. Please go ahead.
This is Rajnikant Patel. I'm from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm a retired professional and a speaker and a writer of a children's book. This was Deepakanandji, very good introduction to positive, but it's a very, very vast subject. And I wanted to ask you some questions about, like you said earlier, we are seasoned to seasoned or programmed to do a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of negativity that comes out in our speech or our mind. For example, I don't know, I don't think, I cannot do it, I hate it. Those kind of stuff, unconsciously, we are programmed to think and say. So please dwell on those and see what are the effects of that, and then how is it we can start thinking positive.
See, one thing, your inability to do certain thing. And if you contemplate or keep saying that I don't know, I cannot do it, then you will never be able to do it. So instead of that, the positive vision says, I want to do it, I will do it, and that's how the nature change its turn. And that's how eventually you are able to do it. It's like we are creating obstacles for our own self, by our own self. So with this understanding, removing those negativities, I become positive. I want to do it. I will do it. That's it. Come what may. And that happens. It changes all the situations of my life because of my decision. But if I say I cannot do it, I will not be putting any efforts then. Okay.
Yes.
So that's how it helps you. And it's like you have to remind yourself every day, I want to do it. I will do it. And that's it. People have done that in the same way.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I want following questions related to health. There's a lot of literature going on that the positivity really cures your health. You dwell on that?
Yes. So first of all, the 7 diamond that relates to food. We have a lot of holistic food, holistic healing. Holistic science also deals with the food aspect. So if we are really conscious of our health, then we know that it has to be physically, it has to be mentally, it has to be spiritually. The mental aspect covers other things like psychological health, um, intelligent health, and socially you have to be healthy. So it's like if I'm healthy, but then I cannot deal with people around, then I'll be a miserable person because I cannot live alone. Everyone has to live with people around. So that's how I become perfect. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's move on to the next question from our audience. Please go ahead.
Deepak Anandji, I'm Punita Desai from Tustin, California. I'm a graphic designer. I have a couple of questions too. I think I'm a pretty optimist person in general, but I do encounter occasional, I guess, handicaps at the work level. I feel like my department, there's some competitive people and I have some opinionated vision for them because they've been competitive so long. And I try to diffuse it in my mind with positive vision many times, but I feel like that the opinion must be so strong. It's taken me a long time to diffuse it for certain people because I have to deal with these individuals at work all the time. So you see this competitive nature, then you kind of go back and goes, okay, for my peace of mind, I should just let them be. But for some time at a work level, you still have to prove yourself to your bosses and the people above you. So it's like trying to find a fine balance where you kind of let go and still stay positive for all these individuals. Do you have a remedy for that?
See, one thing, you have to identify the individual's strength. Try to find out their expertise and then divide the work accordingly. Hold themselves responsible and always appreciate them when they finish the work. So in that situation, there will not be any kind of competition also among them because you have assigned them a particular task and you're holding them responsible for that. So that should work very well. Did you get that?
I did get that. I think they're at the same, sorry, go ahead.
Identifying their individual strength is very important and assigning them that particular job and holding them responsible for that really helps them.
I think what I've encountered is that they're at the same level as I am. So the assignments are being directed from my boss and that other person is very competitive and always trying to outshine in some manners. So I always backtrack. I don't need that kind of pressure on me, but from the boss's perspective, I think they do see some kind of negativity or some kind of competitive nature, and it does cause problems in the work environment. So I don't know how to just let go and say, okay, you take care of this and I'll take care of this, because that person always wants to.
One thing is that in this work environment, you have to be aggressive to a certain extent because I think your boss also expects from you such things. So identify your job and see to it that you do it correctly. Are you getting it? Doesn't matter because what job you are assigned, you have to perform.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you are affected by your surroundings, then you will fail to perform. So don't let that happen. Because job that is given to your other colleague, they are different. They're not the same. So you have to learn to take care of your job. Focus on your job. Don't get distracted by those things because that's very common everywhere. And it is possible that they can create problems. They try to distract you. But you have to understand your focus, your goal, and take care accordingly.
No, that's wise words. It is. I normally don't encounter anything like this anywhere else. It's just that one situation, and it's been kind of dragging on. So I have to change my opinionated vision too of that individual, like you mentioned earlier, how to correct that inner vision.
Also one more thing, that you cannot change others, but you can definitely change yourself. Focus on your weakness Don't let that affect your work.
For
It's
sure.
very important because these are very common nowadays. Very common.
Yeah, yes. Then I had a second question too in relation to the food you mentioned briefly earlier. What kind of foods will give you positive vision? Is there certain types of foods that have positive qualities?
See, one thing is that as far as you eat natural food, it's going to do good to your body. Natural, what it means, which is grown naturally, because any processed food, it has a lot of chemicals into it for its preservation and all that stuff. So try to avoid that. It
Okay.
will take little time because with the tight scheduling what you have, when you go back home, probably you'll try to grab certain thing and just finish eating. So that's not right. You have to focus that yes, your body is equally important because the way we keep our car up to date, we have to keep this body also up to date. It's very important because that's how that health is going to reflect your work, your life.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
So like we how we have a timetable uh, at work.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have a wonderful timetable for the week and rotate so that you get change also at the same time you get the benefit of eating the right thing.
I'll definitely incorporate that for in my life. Thank you.
Okay, on to the next question from our audience. Please go ahead. Priyanka Wen.
Yeah. Jai Sachidanand Deepa Banerjee. I
Jay
am
said,
Priyanka from Bahrain, and my question is that there are certain situations wherein I know that I have to do a particular task, and I have done my all the efforts to do it. But then before the result comes to me, I am always in the curious, anxiety level that the result will be positive or negative. And that time many negative thoughts comes into the mind that it can be this also. Majorly negative thoughts will come that the result will be negative towards negative. So then at that time my mind will satisfied with the thinking level that the efforts are in my hand and the result is not in my hand, so I should not think about it. But it goes for the time being that again the negative thoughts comes into the mind. So how to tackle up this situation?
one thing is that whatever the mind tells you, not necessary it's going to happen. So let the mind say anything. You say what you had to say, I have heard. I accept that. That's it. Now it remains for the situation to show up and just wait and watch. So instead of getting anxious, getting distracted, because whatever that goes on in our mind, there is no reason that it has to happen outside. And mind, if you really see, is nothing but the impressions of our past. Now imagine whatever
Right.
ups and downs we passed through in our past, that's what our mind has become like that. And in the present situation, however hard you would have worked with all your positive efforts, but still the failures of the past pops up in your mind and distracts you. So you have to say that, okay, whatever you wanted to say, I heard, I put all my efforts. Now it remains the time. So first of all, the best way not to get affected by your mind is keep yourself busy and leave it to the nature that you have put all your efforts and I have to succeed. That's it. And you will be able to handle that situation easily. And let's say your mind is going on negative, 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 negative. Yes. And when the result comes, evaluate. You had been telling me all this time it's going to be negative, it's going to be negative. But see, the result has come positive. Now, do you want me to listen anymore? Sorry. So this the story ends. Now, whatever you want to say, you can say, but I'm not going to listen to you. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
So our mind is a reflection of the past. It is not seeing the present situation. But what it has experienced in the past, it is trying to project now in the present where the situations are different totally. Do you understand that?
Yeah. I got that
Let
point.
the mind say anything. When it happens, you will accept it. Okay.
Okay. One more question related to the same situation. For example, if you are passing through an illness and you're going through a medication, but medication will not all of a sudden give you a solution. It will might take probably some time. So if you don't
Yeah.
see the improvement, again you get that anxiety that even by the medication the things are not being solved. So now what should I go ahead with, and what will happen in future? So that will.
Yeah, that's true. You know the best way when you're on medication and the situation is like that, what you can supplement, and it is very effective, increase your workout. Is going to act like a predisposing factor for the illness to come out. You understand that?
Okay.
It
Yes.
will really help you fight your illness, because it is not only the medication that works, the other psychological effects, they bother us a lot. And that
Right.
overall affects the progress.
Okay.
Okay. So in that situation, actually, you should increase your workout so your inner strength will open up and fight the disease. And
Okay.
especially all this anxiety part that pops up in your mind, that won't affect you. That won't take you for a ride. Okay.
Okay. Deepak,
But
and we have
normally,
one
no,
more thing. As you said. Okay.
normally what happens when people are sick, they avoid their workouts, which is very bad. You should never do. In fact, when everything is okay, you skip, it is okay. But when you're not well, you should see that you have to do it, because
Okay.
it helps you a lot. Yeah.
There's a related question to this workout also. I'm not talking only about the medication, but all the efforts which you make, that is exercise, food, and every possible thing which is going to be solution for you. But then eventually it doesn't drastically changes. But during that time of slowly steady changes, mind always feel that I'm trying so many efforts, doing all the possible things, but I am not sure whether the things are going to work for me and when it is going to work for me. So that makes you more negative at the times while making the efforts. So want to avoid that negativity while making the efforts.
Don't leave your mind idle.
Okay.
Keep yourself busy. Then it will not, like in all its free time, it jumps into situations like this. So don't leave it
Mm-hmm.
free at all. Then you don't have
Okay.
time. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
the- on to the next question from our audience. Middlebury, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Deepak Anandji. I'm Mitul Taylor from Johannesburg, working as an IT professional for Tata Consultancy Services.
Yeah.
I've got a very work-related question, like the fear of performance. Whenever we start a new task or we get a new assignment, there's always a small fear of performance, whether the things will go right, if something happens wrong. Basically, I'm working at a client location, so that it worries me very much. If something goes wrong, then my company has to pay for it, and I have to listen from my managers or something. So that fear of performance, even though sometimes I perform good also, but whenever I take up a new task, that fear always comes into mind. So how to avoid that?
First of all, such a fear is very good. The reason is it will keep you alert. You will not leave any avenue open for failure. Second thing, plan properly. Your planning is very important. See, number one, professionally, You are perfect. You have been assigned that job. They know that you're going to perform. So now don't let this situation and anxiety of the result distract you and try to affect you in your present situation, what you need to do. So have a clear mind. I am going to succeed because with all my positive efforts, it has to work. And this fear will always keep you doubly check that you are not leaving anything aside. So it's like with all your efforts, proper planning, proper resources, you should have that confidence. Don't doubt then. And if the doubt comes, you tell that I have taken enough care, and if I come across the situation, I will handle it. Are you getting that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, got it. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, on to our next question. Go ahead. Kaushal, you need to unmute yourself. Kaushal, your voice is not coming through. You need to unmute yourself. Okay, why don't we move on to Mayanbai and then come back to Kaushal while he's trying to resolve his audio issues. Go ahead, Mayanbai. You need to speak up, Mayanbai, or why don't you put your question in the text box? I'll ask it on your behalf.
In the meantime, Swamiji, while he's doing that, can you elaborate on, you said natural food. If you can briefly talk about what's natural food you meant. Thank you.
First of all, you know, nowadays, the GMO stuff is around, genetically modified stuff. So try to avoid that. Try to look out for those stuff which is non-GMO. Then always use natural stuff. So that's how it's going to help you. Totally free your refrigerator from all the processed stuff. Just please get rid of that. Because if you keep them, you're going to eat that someday. Okay.
Okay.
So that's
you're talking about natural vegetables and natural fruits?
Take little time to cook yourself. You will love doing that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, on to Kaushal now. It seems like the audio issues are resolved. Maybe not. Kaushal, we still can't hear you. So I'm going to bring up Mayanbai's question, which he posted on the text box. He says there are times when you are positive and upbeat and ready to change people around you. Show you.
I mean, you are positive and upbeat, but the people around you show you negative things. You are on your way to change a few things about yourself, and working towards it. But then people around you show you negative things. Then how do you feel like a setback? Then you doubt yourself. So.
Okay, so let me paraphrase this for everyone. What Mayanbai is asking is, you try to be positive in all situations, but there are people around you who are very negative and have a negative influence on you. So how do you keep away influences and stay positive in this kind of an environment?
That's true. Number one, your experience matters a lot. With your enthusiasm and aggression, I will say a kind of aggression is also needed at times when you are positive and sure, depending on your type of planning and experience. So that's how those negativities will not affect you. It will not be effective also from their part when they listen to such assertive and very, very positive results. Do you understand that? They are bound because everyone feels that I have the experience. But when your words, your speech, they are through or out of that experience, it's going to have a lot of power. Power to convince them. My question is for business. I could not read that fully. Before I could read, it went away.
Okay, I'm going to read it out to you, Swamiji. So this is a question from Kaushal. It says, we have to deal with people on a daily basis. How can we be positive before meeting a client? As the doubts of failure show up on your face, the client can sense that you're not confident in your abilities. So how do we that situation where you show that positivity in front of your clients?
Yeah, number one, first of all, if you really look at the world's drama, then it is something which was already programmed and you are playing it out today. So don't have that apprehension at all whatsoever, and be prepared for any eventualities that I will face and handle the situation, whatever that comes across. But don't go with a sullen face. That's not. You have to be cheerful and aggressive. Very simple. Very simple. But then all these things will come with because you need a lot of groundwork. Physically, mentally, psychologically, socially. How you sit, how you walk, it all matters. It is going to reflect in your mind, in your thinking, in your dealing. So that's how it's going to matter. So all these things, they are like supporting features which is needed. We cannot be, technically, everything is not okay. You have the technical background, but if you cannot present it properly, then you're gone. So that's where it becomes important that we have to understand all the facets of the business.
So Swamiji, if I can jump in here, there is some research that has been done on something that's called power postures. So to your point of how you sit, how you gesture, all that kind of plays into the level of confidence. So the power posture practice before an important interview or before going on to client. So you can look that up on, you can Google that and it will come up. So you do that power posture, which is an open posture for 2 minutes, and your demeanor changes. And I've tried it myself before important meetings. And it does wonders to so essentially what you're doing is you are changing the posture of your body for 2 minutes. You are staying in that posture, and that changes your demeanor and confidence. Go ahead, Swami.
That's true. But apart from that, principally, whatever situation you are about to face, you already have the solution for that. Because whatever was programmed is being played out. What you need is take care of these factors. then that part is already there. But when you are not ready with these things, then that part doesn't work. Okay, just recall that in any of these meetings or speeches, well, how does the president speak? How does he walk? So these are, see, these great people, they are not, because whatever you are going to deliver physically, 80%, 90% is the mental part, psychological part, how you present yourself. And if you're going to say something, you have to be assertive, positive, with whatever you want to say, be clear and firm, loud and clear. This is what you say. And
Yes.
even if there is a factor of lack of confidence, let it go now. And when you come across the situation, face it and handle it. But see, what I feel, we get very much affected and carried away by the result. Don't worry of the result. Don't worry at all about the result. Because result will come when it comes. But you are spoiling your present moment. So face it. What's going to happen? The world is not going to end. I am not going to end. I'll be there forever. Now what is the problem? What you need is show up to the requirement of the situation.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Well said, Swami.
You know, Manish bhai, if you have a minute, I'd like to share my experience of what Kaushal said.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I was at a site, and my vice president called me and said I had to stay for another meeting. There was a problem which I had no idea, no relations with what I was doing. So I had to go there, and I had no idea what was I going. But like Swami says, Deepakayani says, you know, I was positive. I went with that. Hey, I'm going to take blows. I'm going to take abuses. So well that be, but you need to maybe positive and make a commitment and see what happens. So when I went to the meeting, I was just blasted. Our company had made some error in some supply of parts which I had no idea, you know. So I just took the blows with positivity. I made a commitment and I walked out of the meeting. And thank goodness in 3 months we turned everything around. So that's what positivity did to us.
It's like, you know, you say, I have the solution, you have to give me the time.
Yeah.
That's
Even you don't know anything.
You plan it out.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. You know, I'm a mechanical engineer and I was given a rubber product, you know. So I had no idea what the rubber, how they manufacture rubber, you know. But that's how, that's why it came out, and it came out pretty good.
Right. I think we're getting to the end of this call. Do you have any final comments? We're going to conclude the call. So do you have any summary, couple of points that you want to emphasize before we call it a day?
One thing, you are whole and so responsible for yourself. And when you are positive, you have to succeed. Never give up. Fight. Fight your inner weaknesses. Don't let those weaknesses pop up and distract you. That's it. And have your regular workout. Very important. Never skip them. You can skip your meal, but don't skip your workout. It's very important for
That will
the
be
mind.
helpful, actually.
Steady, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good remedy for keeping our weight in order as well. You know, skipping a meal but not skipping the workout.
Yeah.
Pretty practical. So this concludes our talk. Thank you, Swamiji, for your insights. very diverse audience, which I'm grateful for. John from Johannesburg and Bahrain and US, and of course Swamiji from India. So we kind of got an introduction to positive vision, and as was alluded to, this is a very vast topic, so we'll continue this discussion on positive vision or positive Drishti in our next talk. The next talk will be in October. It will be October 16th at 10 o'clock Central Time, US, 8:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. If you need further information on HSCRF topics, holistic science, we have a website that you can visit. It's hscrf.org. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are.